Fictional billionaires versus real-life billionaires.
Fictional billionaires live glamorous lives without limits, without worries. But if they were in the real world, would their fortunes survive? Would Tony Stark spend millions on technology with no return? Would Bruce Wayne maintain his empire while trying to save Gotham? And Jordan Belfort, would he make the same mistakes again? What can these characters teach us about financial success and economic failure? And most importantly, how can you avoid their mistakes and build your own wealth? Stay with me, because in the last topic, I will reveal a powerful financial secret that can transform your relationship with money. Let's get started.
Chapter 1. The Role of Money in Fiction.
Movies and series have always sold the idea of wealth as something glamorous and seemingly infinite. But the truth is that behind the glitter of the screens, there are dangerous distortions that can influence our own financial decisions. How many times have we seen fictional billionaires squandering money without any worries? Large mansions, private jets, luxury cars. But does this represent the reality of the rich, or just a carefully scripted cinematic illusion? Cinema, especially Hollywood, plays a crucial role in shaping popular beliefs. It often creates unrealistic standards of financial success that shape the collective imagination, especially among young people and adults in the process of building their careers. On the screen, being rich seems synonymous with absolute freedom. The millionaire character has no worries, no financial pressures, no need to deal with debts or budgets. His lifestyle is pure luxury. His schedule consists of parties, travel, and unbridled consumption. But in the real world, wealth is very different. It requires planning, sacrifices, discipline, and above all, responsibility. And this aspect is rarely portrayed honestly in entertainment. Think of the typical movie entrepreneur. He is always at the head of a large company, but is almost never seen making difficult decisions, facing financial crises, or developing complex strategies. Everything seems simple, automatic, almost magical. In contrast, fictional heirs live with infinite reserves. No matter how much they spend or lose, the money never runs out. This creates the mistaken idea that inheritance is an eternal guarantee of comfort, ignoring the fact that mismanagement can bankrupt even the largest family empires. And what about investors in movies? They make a single risky bet and turn it all into billions, almost as if financial success were the result of intuition alone, not of study, patience, and strategy. These archetypes, although captivating, distort reality. Investments involve real risks. Many real millionaires have lost fortunes through impulsive decisions, even though they have experience and knowledge. Fiction also reinforces the illusion of easy money. It is common to see characters who start from scratch and within minutes of the plot reach the top. A moment of luck, a brilliant idea, a stroke of genius, and voila, they are rich. The narrative ignores the entire path of sacrifices, failed attempts and mistakes that, in real life, are part of the process. Take Jordan Belfort, portrayed in The Wolf of Wall Street, for example. He builds a colossal fortune in a short time, but also loses it all just as quickly. The film even shows the dark side of finance, but still glamorizes the irresponsible lifestyle. Another example are the films where entrepreneurs appear from nowhere and almost effortlessly build empires. But reality shows that most entrepreneurs work tirelessly for years before obtaining significant returns. The problem with this distorted view is that it creates unrealistic expectations. People start to believe that getting rich is just a matter of luck or timing. They forget that the basis of building wealth is consistency, not extraordinary events. This kind of thinking can be dangerous. Many end up getting into debt, investing without preparation, or betting on unsustainable businesses, motivated by illusory promises they saw on the screen. The distance between fantasy and the real world is even greater when we analyze the behavior of the truly rich. They are, most of the time, extremely controlled. They buy strategically, plan investments, study risks, avoid unnecessary expenses, and maintain a long-term mindset. Contrary to what movies show, real millionaires rarely put all their money into a single business. They diversify, analyze economic scenarios, keep consultants by their side, and above all, learn from their own mistakes. The idea of infinite money is a myth. Even the greatest fortunes can disappear with bad decisions. Inheritances can run out, businesses can go bankrupt, markets fluctuate. And that's precisely why financial education is essential, something you'll rarely see in a Netflix series or an action blockbuster. It's important to understand that entertainment is above all fantasy. It has no obligation to teach finance or offer accurate portrayals of reality. It's up to us, as viewers, to filter the content and understand that true success requires something that scripts often omit: hard work, time, and financial intelligence. Instead of seeking inspiration from fictional characters, seek to learn from real stories. People who made mistakes, learned, persisted, and achieved. These are the ones who have valuable lessons to offer. When consuming entertainment content, maintain a critical sense. Recognize what is exaggeration, what is fantasy, and what can really be applied to your life. Movies are great for entertaining, moving, and even motivating us, but when it comes to money, reality is much more complex and infinitely more interesting than any Hollywood script.
Did you like these strategies to achieve financial freedom? Then leave a like and subscribe for more content that will transform your life.
Chapter 2. Billionaire Character. Study.
I am Iron Man. This phrase goes beyond Tony Stark's arrogance. It symbolizes his identity as a visionary entrepreneur and the power that innovation can have in building a fortune. Stark is the personification of technology as an engine of wealth. Owner of Stark Industries, he transforms his legacy into a technological empire focused on defense, energy, and futurism. The key to his wealth is clear: revolutionary ideas executed with boldness. But what fiction omits is the fragility of an empire that depends exclusively on the genius of a single mind. In the real world, great visionaries like Elon Musk also build empires based on innovation. But unlike Stark, they operate with teams, boards, solid financial structures, and long-term planning. Innovation without management can be as dangerous as uncontrolled technology. The truth is that most technology startups fail. According to real data, 9 out of 10 startups close their doors within the first 5 years. Brilliance is not enough. You need well-managed capital, a solid business plan, and risk control. Stark inspires us to think big, but it also serves as a warning. Relying solely on innovation can make your fortune vulnerable. To build sustainable wealth, technology must go hand in hand with financial management. The big lesson here is clear. Brilliant ideas need strategy to become profitable. Creativity without control is like an unstable reactor, powerful but ready to explode. Bruce Wayne, The Art of Diversification. Bruce Wayne, the man behind Batman, may seem like just another billionaire with expensive toys. But when we look at Wayne Enterprises, we discover an admirable management model: diversification. Unlike Stark, Wayne does not concentrate his fortune in a single sector. He distributes investments between technology, health, infrastructure, and research. His company is a conglomerate that prospers even without the constant presence of its owner. This strategy mirrors the behavior of great investors like Warren Buffett, who advocates diversification as a way of protecting against risks and market volatility. When one sector suffers, another can maintain the stability of the assets. Wayne understands that the economy is cyclical. By investing in different areas, he ensures that his fortune will withstand sectoral crises. This is one of the most valuable lessons for those who want to build real wealth. Many people believe that it takes a lot of money to diversify, but the principle also applies to those who are just starting out. Having an emergency fund, investing in different assets and sources of income is a practical way of applying this philosophy. Wayne also shows that time is a valuable asset. While he lives a double life as a security guard, his fortune grows because it is structured in long-term assets and reliable leaders. True financial intelligence lies in protecting and expanding your wealth without relying on a single variable. Wayne understands that wealth is not just about accumulating it, but building a solid, sustainable, and resilient foundation. Jordan Belfort, The Danger of Easy Money. Jordan Belfort, the Wolf of Wall Street, represents the archetype of explosive wealth and of the equally meteoric fall. His story is a loud warning about the risks of easy money and the lack of financial ethics. Belfort built his fortune through stock manipulation and aggressive sales, exploiting the greed of others. His empire seemed unshakable until reality knocked on the door. Investigations, collapses, and prison. What causes a fortune to collapse so quickly? The lack of a sustainable strategy. The search for immediate profit, driven by market adrenaline and ostentation, is one of the biggest traps in the financial world. Many novice investors make this mistake. They invest all their capital in volatile assets, expecting miraculous profits. But the financial market requires more than courage. It requires preparation, knowledge, and patience. Belfort's case shows that discipline is worth more than speed. Money earned quickly, without structure and purpose, hardly lasts. Real wealth is built with long-term vision and ethical decisions. The true investor knows that consistency is more powerful than profit explosions, and that making money is only part of the game. The biggest challenge is to keep it and make it grow safely. Belfort's lesson is hard, but essential. Do not confuse movement with progress. Financial success that does not have a solid foundation is like a house of cards, beautiful but extremely fragile. Scrooge McDuck, hoarding without purpose. Uncle Scrooge is famous for swimming in his safe full of gold coins. He represents the archetype of the miser, someone who has accumulated an immense fortune but rarely uses it. At first glance, his obsession with saving money may seem prudent. But from a financial point of view, keeping capital idle is a mistake. Money that is not circulated depreciates over time. Inflation erodes purchasing power, and opportunities for growth are lost. Accumulating without a strategy is as dangerous as spending too much. The true meaning of wealth lies in the balance between preserving and multiplying. Scrooge could multiply his fortune even more if he invested intelligently. In the real world, great investors like Ray Dalio or Cathie Wood know that saving money is not the path to financial freedom. It is necessary to invest it in assets that generate returns, such as stocks, real estate, businesses, or funds. Saving out of fear is a form of attachment that prevents growth. Many Brazilians, for example, still prefer to leave their money in savings accounts, which yield little, instead of studying other, more profitable forms of investment. Uncle Scrooge's great lesson is that money must have a purpose. Wealth is not just about accumulating, it is about transforming, moving, investing, and positively impacting your life and the lives of others. Financial security does not come from a full safe, but from the ability to make decisions that increase your freedom, not your imprisonment by fear of loss. Christian Grey, Financial Control and Personal Power. Christian Grey, the protagonist of the series 50 Shades of Grey, is a billionaire who uses his fortune as an instrument of control. In his business and relationships, money is always an extension of his power. Grey invests, buys companies, gives extravagant luxuries, and even controls other people's routines based on his financial capacity. But this model raises an important question. What happens when money replaces emotional balance? Many believe that having money means having total control. But this is an illusion. The most dangerous decisions are those guided by emotions, not strategy. And when money is used as a shield, it can lead to isolation, emotional dependence, and bad investment decisions. Grey demonstrates business skills, but his behavior reveals the fragility of those who use wealth as an emotional shield. In real life, billionaires who mix emotions with financial decisions often face losses and scandals. True financial power comes from strategic autonomy. It's about making money work for you, not using it to mask insecurities. Lasting. Fortunes are built with emotional clarity, well-defined goals, and a balance between reason and ambition. There is a fine line between influence and manipulation, and money, if misused, can break that line. Christian Grey shows that wealth without emotional intelligence is a minefield. The big lesson here is that money should be a tool to build freedom, not to dominate others or compensate for personal voids. Financial self-control and emotional maturity are essential for anyone who wants to become rich in a solid way.
Chapter 3. Actionable Financial Lessons.
Now that we've delved into the minds of some of the most famous fictional billionaires, it's time to get our feet on the ground. Real life demands more than catchphrases and action scenes. It demands planning, strategy, and financial intelligence. Many of these characters enchant us because they seem to have infinite money, but the reality is different. Even real billionaires face risks, make difficult choices, and deal with crises. Think about it. If Tony Stark hadn't been an excellent manager as well as an inventor, he would have lost everything. If Bruce Wayne had put all his capital into a single investment, his fortune would be just a memory. The big lesson here is simple but powerful. Wealth isn't magic, it's method. How to apply these strategies in your daily life. We analyzed what each character can teach us. Now let's put all this into practice. What can you do today to improve your financial life based on these lessons? Invest in innovation, but with caution. Lesson from Tony Stark. Seeking out new ideas and ventures is essential, but be careful. Innovation without management is a recipe for failure. Test, validate ideas, and never invest everything in a single bet. Diversify your investments. Lesson from Bruce Wayne. Wayne Enterprises is an empire because it operates in multiple sectors. Do the same. Diversify your sources of income. Invest in different assets and think long-term. Avoid quick and easy money. Lesson from Jordan Belfort. The Wolf of Wall Street showed how explosive gains can be as ephemeral as they are destructive. Solid strategies, even if slow, build lasting fortunes. Avoid accumulating without purpose. Lesson from Uncle Scrooge. Saving money for the sake of saving may seem safe, but it is not smart. Money that is left idle loses value over time. Invest with clear goals and grow sustainably. Money should not control your life. Lesson from Christian Grey. Using money as a tool for emotional control is dangerous. Use it as a strategic ally with awareness and balance. Make decisions based on logic, not on impulses. Beware of the traps of fiction. Movies and series sell a lifestyle that often does not correspond to reality. When we let ourselves be carried away by these narratives, we end up creating unrealistic expectations and making dangerous financial decisions. Fiction glamorizes wealth, but hides the hard work, failures, and discipline needed to get there. True success does not come from epic moments. It is built in silence, with consistent decisions, smart strategies, and a long-term vision. Final summary: your journey begins with real choices. Being inspired by fiction is valid, but applying it to reality is essential. If you want to change your financial life, you don't need to be a superhero. You need to be a strategist. Study, invest wisely, diversify your income, and stay strong even in the face of difficulties. This is the true formula for wealth. And remember, the greatest fortune you can achieve is the freedom to choose your future with awareness and purpose.
Want to achieve wealth and freedom? Start now. Leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss the next tips.
Chapter 4: The Invisible Wealth, the asset that fictional billionaires ignore.
When we think of billionaires like Tony Stark or Bruce Wayne, it's easy to associate their wealth with powerful companies or gigantic inheritances. But there's a silent, invisible asset that they rarely show on screen: applied financial knowledge. This is the real engine of wealth, not the money itself, not the cars or the futuristic gadgets. What really sustains fortunes over time is the ability to make strategic financial decisions based on real knowledge. While movies value ostentation, the real world rewards those who master financial education. Those who understand compound interest, know how to read a balance sheet, recognize an investment opportunity, and above all, can stay calm when everyone else is panicking. This skill is not something you are born with. It is developed, studied, applied, refined, and unfortunately, it is exactly what is missing in 90% of people who try to copy millionaire lifestyles without any basis. Why applied knowledge is the most powerful asset. Imagine that you earn $1 million today. Without knowledge, this amount can evaporate in months. Poorly calculated expenses, impulsive investments, lack of planning, all contribute to the destruction of wealth. Now imagine someone with real knowledge, but starting with only $1,000. This person knows how to apply, multiply, and retain. In 10 years, they can be ahead of someone who started with a lot, but didn't know how to manage it. This is why so many inherited fortunes disappear in 2 or 3 generations, and why so many self-made millionaires continue to grow. Applied knowledge is the true legacy. What movies don't show, but you need to know. Movies and series skip steps. They show the achievement, but not the process. They show the mansion, but not the cash flow. They show the success, but not the failure that preceded it. In real life, the decisions that matter are not made at parties or in private jets. They are made in front of spreadsheets with clear strategies, defined objectives, and calculated risks. What movies don't show is that real billionaires read, study, learn every day. They have mentors, they hire experts, and most importantly, they make mistakes, but they learn from each mistake. How you can develop your own wealth armor. If Tony Stark has Iron Man's armor, your armor will be the knowledge you acquire. And the more solid it is, the more protected you will be against financial traps, emotional blows, and rash decisions. Here are 3 steps you can apply today. Build your foundation with financial education. Read books, follow reliable channels, study concepts such as assets, liabilities, cash flow, and leverage. Practice what you learn. Start with small investments, simulate scenarios, plan your expenses. Theoretical learning only becomes a real asset when you apply it. Create a cycle of continuous improvement. Evaluate your results, correct mistakes, and move forward. The journey is made up of small adjustments. Great fortunes are born. From consistency. You don't need billions to get started. You need direction, and it all starts when you choose to value knowledge over appearance. The difference that separates dreamers from achievers. Many will continue watching series and wishing for the life of fictional billionaires. They will follow profiles showing off rented cars and empty promises. Few will choose the quieter, less glamorous path, but 100 times more powerful, the path of applied knowledge. Those who choose to learn and apply it are planting a seed that will bear fruit for the rest of their lives. Invisible wealth is that which does not appear on social media, but which guarantees freedom, tranquility, and real opportunities. This is the true armor of real billionaires, and it can be yours if you decide to wear it. The decision is yours.
You have discovered the truth. It is not cars, nor millions in the bank. It is knowledge, discipline, and a strategic mindset that create true wealth. You have seen what the characters do not show, what is behind lasting fortune. Now, the choice is yours. Will you continue to watch others succeed, or will you become the protagonist of your own story? Everything you need is already within your reach: knowledge, tools, and action. It is not luck, it is decision. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and click on the next video on our channel. Your journey does not end here. It is just beginning.